future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. Go wheel to wheel in our competition area, test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com. future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. Go wheel to wheel in our competition area, test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com.
I guess if you're watching old TV, we'd be telling you, pardon the interruption. But hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gotso. Good evening and welcome to P1's coverage of Round 5 of Season 2 of the Sim Gamer Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series. We come to you tonight from just 4 hours due west of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, just outside of St. Louis, a gateway of the track known now as Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. And we are under a bit of a delay. Got some things sorted out in a session configuration, and now we're back underway with a little bit of practice. We'll qualify and then go racing with 150 laps, just shy of 190 miles tonight for the race distance. Joining me as always in the booth is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Luis, after a long week of Indianapolis, kind of just like back in the split days at one point. Half the teams were racing at Indianapolis during the week. The other half of the teams were sitting here in Gateway running at Worldwide Technology Raceway during that week. But for no other reason other than just kind of how it was scheduled, that's kind of how it works today as the ISRA is at Gateway during the day.
Yeah, so it's like a comeback to the business again. It's like a for just for now, because it's still maybe not for all of them, including me. If we talking about if I want to race the open series, the open race, for sure not, because my expertise in open setup is not the best one. Actually, even in my golden time, even. Couldn't have the opportunity of that. So we are back for Gateway or Worldwide Technology Raceway. If we go today ERN, we have to say that. But Gateway is much better to say that. So easy to say. So we have back. I mean, maybe it's here. I say Stoffer in the other session. Stoffer is over there in waiting for his opportunity to come in to practice. For qualifying. So at least Stoffel is back, but it's really down to the order in the standings. But Clendy is the leader for so far for now, with the victory last race. So let's see what happened. Really tough race in here in Gateway. Very hot, actually. It's really weird to see hot in Gateway, and we're gonna see here in ISRA. So it's gonna be interesting today.
Yeah, pardon the graphics glitch here. We'll show you this here in a second. You're going to look at the points, though. But Clendy a 1-point lead over Wags. Rigney third. Forsyth fourth. Richie Hearn in fifth. We'll get the points off the screen there. And the little glitch here in the that right there. That is where it says no name. For whatever reason, Gateway just always comes up that way. I've had my overlay dev look at it. But all the rest of the information down here is correct. So it is 118 degrees on the track temperature. And
Clendy, a lot of fuel burn for him.
Yeah, he will take off here in a little bit. Clendy on the provisional pole, 177.9. Rigney right next to him with the 177.7. There goes Stouffer as we see him rolling out. Well, if anybody paid attention last weekend, it was fixed Indy 500 weekend here on iRacing. And we have at least five Indy 500 wins in the lineup tonight from the weekend. Clendy with one, Ty Quilla with two top split wins with Ty. Let's see, Stouffer got a win. He was a third split winner on Sunday morning. And we had Shane Coker, who was, I think, a seventh or eighth split winner on Friday. So a lot of Indy 500 wins. Matter of fact, Clendy, he is one of only two drivers of everybody that completed in all 4 500s this weekend. There are only 4 sessions. You had one on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. Clendy competed and actually not competed, completed. He competed in all 4 and completed 800 laps. Every single lap possible, he completed. He's one of 2 drivers in the entire service to do that. He also had 4 top 5s, and I believe each one of those top 5s was a podium finish, including 1 victory.
And without put in the map, ERN, also the fixed series, it was a lot of laps around Indianapolis.
Yeah, Clendy finished on the lead lap, I believe, at the Elite Racing League's Indy 500 on Thursday. So, yeah, he did 1,000 laps and competed in 1,000 laps and completed 1,000 laps in a span of 4 days.
Oof.
Yeah.
I remember when I did a lot of laps in Indianapolis, it was crazy.
And we are getting ready to go racing here as the starting grid is starting to form up here. Let's get into the starting lineup here for the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series round at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. And on the pole, it is Wags. He had a top 10 last week in his one of his early 500s in the Major Series. He's on the pole with right next to Clendy, one of the hottest guys in all of sim racing right now. Rigney third, Collins in fourth. Then we got Stouffer. He got a win in Indy 500 on Sunday. Forsyth in, you know what? These numbers are not right, and I think it has to do with the session not loading in correctly. let's see how we can get rid of that. Let's continue to line up, though. The numbers are wrong. The names are right. Kirby and Collins on row 4. Tyquilla and Rick Ravon on row 5. And Mark Amini and Coker row 6. Fortson and Lovern row 7. Hayes and Hearn on row 8. Eric and Ramsey on row 9. Mitchum and Reagan on row 10. And Callisto in row 11. Disregard the numbers.
So I found him. My stand for a long time ago. It was 2000. Wait, I can. Oh, now I lose the thing. 2020. When I did 2,100 laps just in practice and blah blah blah. And that time when I have my head very, very into the iRacing and IndyCar, so it really was a stressed year in that time to win at least, but I couldn't actually. Maybe one day, who knows.
I'm going to do it again. I need to try to better my 4th place finish. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that, or at least get in there and compete and do another 200 laps. I'm pretty sure I can at least finish on the lead lap, but here we go, coming to the green flag, 150 laps here tonight.
Green flag, green flag.
And Wagner in the Guerrero livery from 87 Indy 500 into turn 1. Rigney, Clindy, Jacob Collins, Chris Stouffer, your top 5. As the field starts to spread out, and we got some evasive action down the backstretch with Tristan Fortson.
Just a little bit. Oh, loose on the exit on turn 2.
I think we got the numbers correct now. There we go. Rigney with the purple lap that time by a 173.2, and he's the man on the move. He's taking a look on the outside, down the back straightaway into 3. This is a track, really, that your passes begin off the exit of 2. They continue all the way through 3, and often you do not get the pass completed until you get back to turn 1. It takes a better part of a lap. That once you pull out and make the move to continue with that momentum, it takes a better part of the lap to complete that move here. So when you make a move here at Gateway, you got to be really calculated. Make sure you give yourself enough time, because it's going to take pretty much the entire 1.25 miles here at this racetrack to complete that pass.
Yeah, actually, remember long time ago, the pass you can make it on the top, you can make it on the down, for the middle, easy. Now, more realistic, like we see in the IndyCar real drivers, you have to. Even the turn 3 and 4, you cannot go full throttle. You have to lift in a little bit, put maybe 2 downs, Cocker and Lover closer there. And yeah, it's pretty tough. And if you make the attempt to Will and Kirby on front, if you attempted to go inside in turn 1 and 2, you maybe can lose the car,
pass.
or maybe can lose 2 or 3 position in there.
Chris Reagan splitting through the eye of the needle in the back of the pack here as he's working his way forward. He's already up 6 spots very early here at lap 7, working on Gary Lovern, coming off of 2. Yes, Wags, I know. Max is like, the numbers are wrong. Yes, we know. That is because we had to load into another session. Blame the admin. Mistakes happen.
Blame the USAC.
Blame USAC. Oh, coming off the corner, Jim Herrick into the inside wall, and we might go caution. That was a snap loose situation. We're going to stay green, but that car is done.
Oh, so loose, really loose, and the off. Wow, the hit on the wall was terrible.
Let's check this out, and it was all by himself. Jim behind one of his drivers, Chris Reagan. He is riding that high line, getting some cleaner air on those front wings, and then he comes off the corner and on around, and it is a direct shot into the inside wall, and that is a big hit. Meanwhile, back up front after 10 laps, Wags and Rigney starting to pull away a little bit. Now, I'm going to say, the color red, that STP red on, actually it's the Granatelli red on that number 11 of Wags, does not do that car justice as he gets waggles a little bit coming off of 2. And here comes Rigney on the outside. That is an extraordinarily fluorescent orange car if you've ever seen it in real life. The pictures that are around nowadays don't do it justice because it was actual film, and film is not as vibrant as an inside. Rigney is going to get that pass as he gets a little wiggle off of 2, but he completes it, and Rigney is now our leader. But if you ever see that car in real life on a digital photograph, that is a bright orange, fluorescent orange, day-glow orange car, and it's hard to miss from a mile away. But it's good to see someone recalling that livery from, I'm going to say that was Roberto Guerrero's really his heyday before his career kind of went downhill after the 87 season.
More the blue one. That's a pretty good one. But yeah, like I just said, it's Roberto Guerrero in that car. Actually, I see here, big one. Pretty red for me. He did the qualifying and then the 1988 with that color. But it's much better the blue one, red, blue and red color.
I don't know if I can find a picture, and I'll maybe put it on.
It's a big picture over there, Roberto Guerrero, with something holding in the hand. Huge.
I don't know if I can find a digital photograph. Watching a battle right now between two drivers with a lot of experience in this league now. Rick Ray Vaughn and Justin Kirby.
Let me try to, if I send it to you, you can see it.
Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Found it?
Yeah. I can put it on my desktop, and I'll try to bring it in. Here we go.
Justin Kirby.
Yeah, they're still battling on it.
Rick Raven, yeah. I kind of a little bit loose in the entry. I think so. He used the brake to try to get into the Raven. Oh, it's got to the wall, too high. Yeah, when you brake and you brake a little bit hard, the car do that move of wigging into the corner. So I think so. Don't do it again. Or maybe mix the brake vias too high or Raven in a little bit on the wall. To don't have that problem, and then mix it. Try to put it high and down to don't reheat it. The maybe this is it something over there or no?
Yeah, this is a kind of a small picture, but this is what it looks like. And I told you it is a bright day glow orange. And it's not really, again, that color on the screen doesn't do it justice very well. But that is the, yeah, I told you. I remember seeing that car in practice as a kid when we would go to the speedway during the practice that year. And you just saw it from a mile away. It was impossible to miss.
What is more possible to miss, the yellow or that color? The yellow pen soil or that color?
That color is impossible to miss. Back to the closest battle on hand of the racetrack. Stouffer, Forsyth, Collins, three-way battle for fifth. Also behind them, Kirby and Rayvon back at it again. Kirby just can't get below Rayvon, and when he does it in turns 1 and 2, where the top line is the faster line. That time, Kirby swaps sides as Rick goes low, and now he's going to get a big run in the 3 on the bottom side. Full send, both these drivers, pretty much 100% throttle, and Kirby, whoa, slides up and gives Rick room, but he has to settle back in line. Now he goes down low. At this point in the run, that down low run is not going to get the pass pulled off. It might get him an angle, but it's not going to get the pass pulled off. Right behind him, Ty Quilla, who's going to find all this stuff interesting in front of him. Here comes Kirby on the outside.
Have to be patient.
Yes, be patient.
They have a more momentum. They have a more track in Kirby's more faster than for sure. For Rayvon in that track, look at that. It's almost close to the wall. But he's overdriving. Don't overdriving. You be patient. Rayvon maybe gonna make a mistake and can go into the front because
Rick
Kirby
doesn't make very many mistakes.
But look like he's low with the with clean air on the front. He have a 1.5 over the Collins, so he can go more easily on the front, but he can't. So even Kirby with the dirty air is faster and can stay close to Rayvon.
Down low in the 3 and 4. Let's ride with Kirby. We thought he was going to do a start and park. Here we go in the draft of the Rick Rayvon, Rick Mears livery. Here's a big run down the backstretch. Rick weaves to the inside a little bit, going to the inside in 3 and 4. And now he needs to stay on the pedal. He shifts to 4th gear, but he can't stay at 100% throttle. Side by side with Rick still on the outside. Rick's going to get a big run down the straightaway, get the position back.
Nice.
And look at Rick stay high. And that opens the door down low for Ty Quilla, who makes a little bit of contact on Rick. He has a lift just a little bit. We're going to go 3 wide. Oh, as the front wing gets a little bit damaged from Kirby's car, but it snaps back into place. Kirby's starting to go up and push up the racetrack, trying to give room. And Ty Quilla on the bottom side gets 2 positions.
Wow, that's Quilla. That's the patient I'm talking about. And he waited and he
and here comes Richie Hearn.
Wow. You see, don't be patient. He loses basically 2 positions, and Rayvon is still in there on the front, and Richie Hearn is coming a little more fast, and maybe Kirby, maybe the tires is gone. And except for Rayo, Kirby thanks Rick.
Reagan taking evasive action off a turn 4. Going to the inside of the front straight.
Oh. So Rayvon asking what I do, so I don't know. It's just racing and Kirby waiting for maybe.
I don't think Rick did anything wrong. If someone said Rick did something wrong, I don't think he did anything wrong.
No, nothing wrong over there. It's just maybe thinking about Kirby. Okay, I'm faster than you, let me pass, but it's not like that. So you have to do it. Now Kirby's going back. Maybe it's a little bit upset and lose the momentum, but maybe the tire is gone.
And we're still a ways from pit stops. We can get into the 40s very easily here. Even further than that, I think. Oh, there's a pass for position coming up. Lovern and Marcamini. This is for 13th and 14th. Right with this battle is Tristan Fortson and Lionel Callisto start a shotgun on the field.
Richard Hearn did the pass of Raybon.
On the high side.
It wasn't in turn 2, but inside, really easy for him. And now he keep the position on the high slide. So I think the tire on Raybon is gone, and Kirby also saying too.
Yeah, Kirby has fallen way back, and now he's in the clutches of Chris Reagan. So all that racing for position used up his tires. Here comes Reagan, who's been kind of saving in the back, rolling on the high side through 3 and 4, gets the position. And unfortunately, Kirby down another spot. Reagan up 9 to 11th now. I'm going to say something. If this field wants to not want Chris Reagan to get a win here, they need to not have a caution, because if this field gets shrunk up and tightened up on a restart, that's just going to open up more opportunities for Chris Reagan, who is the man on the move right now. Right behind him is a big battle of cars.
Wow,
as Lionel Callisto, Mark Amini, Fortson, Lovern, Ramsey. Also in there is Lewis Hayes. As we're all together, this is a 13th through 18th.
Oh, almost Callisto lose the car over there. He's gonna lose maybe 2 positions. No, keep it out there.
Mason Mitchum on pit road. Not sure why, but seeing him on pit road. Oh, look at Fortune in the middle there. Just get right up on the back end of both of these guys.
Oh, by the way, be careful with the exit on the pit road. Yeah, I think that for so far it's the most difficult.
Yes, that is right. Ramsey taking evasive action down the backstretch to go 3 wide. Now 2 wide as he goes underneath, lever to the 3. Now he's going to try to go Barcamini.
Oh,
Marcamini missed the corner. He had to check up, but we got contact off the corner, and Levered and Ramsey into the corner, into the one side wall, and we are under caution. There it is.
Oh.
And we're going to see this as this develops. It's just, I think Marcamini missed the corner the last lap, or is having trouble in this corner. Now look how close Ramsey and Lovern get on the main straight. No one's giving any inches here whatsoever. And I think Marcamini missed the corner this time, not last time. Yeah, just a big push with everybody in front of Marcamini. And again, Marcamini, the outside wall, there's not a lot of room there. And Lovern on the inside, and the inside of him in the middle. And Ramsey. And we need to watch this from Marcamini's point of view. As once again, and I don't have my full telestrator. I do have a new art pad that someone bought for me. But again, dirty air here when he gets into the corner. He's going to have dirty air from this car, and he has dirty air from this car, and he's got no clean air on this front wing plane. So he's just going to push up. He needs to roll out of it. Look at all the counter steer he's trying to put into this thing to keep it off the wall. All the action is happening to his inside. Look how close those cars get. And again, he just gets into the corner, and there's no clean air in front of him. The only way that he would have got clean air there if he went to the absolute bottom of the racetrack. And that is just pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. And, yeah, just the cars on the inside kind of run out of room. He had no room to give, really, on the outside of his car. He was up against the wall.
Well, Marcamini, nothing wrong with him.
No,
he just,
no.
would stand that and he braked for sure, and nothing to do. But the Gary and Ramsey went too close, and that's the problem when you hit 3 wide and you think you have the position, or maybe the space is not kind of difficult there.
Battles off pit road. Wagner gets the lead, or keeps the lead back. He gets the lead back over Rigney.
7.7.
Yeah, 7.7 in the box, so a quick fill and tire change for Wags. Rigney second, Clindy third, Stouffer fourth, Jacob Collins in fifth. There you see Jim Herrick getting the wave around after his little incident going into coming off of turn 2. Did an immediate tow and got the fast repair, and now he's only 2 laps down. Still a long way to go. 40 laps of 150 into this thing. Thanks for joining us, everybody. If you enjoy P1's coverage of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you miss out on future broadcasts, including this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the Open Indy 500 Friday Top Split right here on P1. Don't miss it. Another big weekend of Indy 500 action here on P1 and on iRacing.
And after this week, we have waited to December for the other Indy 500 of practice on P1.
We still got, actually there's a couple more big Indy 500s between now and then. Green flag in the air for Wags. We're still going to have the IIS Indy 500K, and that will be in 2 weeks and 2 Saturdays from now. The Saturday before the real Indy 500. That will be the Indy 500K. And then in the ERL in their 2025B season in October, they will have their second Indy 500 of the year. And then the big PRI Hoosier 500 in December. So still 3 big ones to go. And again, watching this.
I think nobody's gonna beat the free caution on your end last week.
That's right.
Really fast.
Yeah, the Indy 500 we had at on the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series. As we're watching Rick Ravon and Lionel Callisto and Reagan and Kirby. It went caution-free. Here comes Trustin. Caution-free, 500 miles. Oh, Mark Amini up high, trying to keep it off the wall.
So many people lose in the corner. Look at that, Rick Ravon. It's loose in turn 3 again. Oh yeah, but 210 miles per hour average. 212, I think so was the count for our miles per hour average in 500 miles.
Bad exit for Fortson off of 2, and that's going to open the door for Kirby. Move Kirby on by, move him up to 12. Fortson back to 13th. Jason Collins, the other Collins in the lineup. He's to the outside and gets the pass done of Coker. Coker now to the inside. Say, hey, Lewis Hayes going to try this in the middle. Wow. A bad exit there for Coker. Lewis Hayes had a big run. He had to check up. Almost got into the back of Coker. He might actually be a 1X there. I'm surprised that there's no damage on either one of the cars. I don't know. Maybe that left front wing plane might be bent oddly on, say, hey, Lewis Hayes' car. Purple lap for Rick Ravon.
I still see the P1 Broadcasting sponsor on the front. Oh, Mr. Mitchell left. Oh yeah, didn't air for him.
Meanwhile, back up front it is Wags, Rigney, Clindy, kind of pulling away. Collins and Stouffer. That's Jacob Collins and Chris Stouffer. Two very accomplished oval drivers. Collins, 5K plus I rating. Stouffer, many, many wins, including a fixed Indy 500 win this weekend. Stouffer also got a top 10 in the Elite Racing League's Indy 500 on Thursday. 49 of 150, coming to 100 to go. Wags and Rigney have really dominated this day so far. As Wags gives Rigney a face full of dirty air. Say hey, Lewis Hayes on the inside of Shane Coker. Car to the inside wall. Coming off a 2. That is Devin Ramsey. And I think it's a bit of like what happened to his boss, Jim Herrick. Watch this.
Oh.
Almost follows directly in the tire tracks. He comes off of 2. And he loose it. Oh, no. I take it back. He got loose mid-quarter, caught it, nosed it into the wall, and then on the pretty much following tire tracks that are already making their way to the inside wall, making contact again with that inside wall off of 2.
Oh, that sucks, because you're thinking you're going to put the car straight again with that move to the right. To the right, yes?
Yes.
And the guy go to the right. So it's like it doesn't make sense. This is supposed to be with this right. You're gonna at least put the car a little bit in position, but no, he went back to the wall.
Everyone stopped pretty much on lap 39. So we don't really expect final stops to really happen until we get a lot closer to lap 100. And that will be final stops for everybody. Rigney back to the lead. And here is that pass. Rigney getting a big run down the front straight. He gets right there and then has a really good turn and through turns 1 and 2. Watch that, yeah.
Oh, he almost went to the wall, Wagner. That's why he leaped.
Yep.
Yeah, wow, that's close.
Oh, Kirby had a moment off of... Watch Kirby off of 2 here. I think he gets momentarily loose. He's in a hole. Actually, he's kind of fallen back from that whole battle between Callisto, Reagan, and Ray Vaughn. And we see him come through the corner. And I think he has much in the same way. Kind of what happened. Yeah. Gets loose about in the same spot as Ramsey did. But he caught it. Rigney pulled away by a 1.1 second lead. Rigney a winner last season at Texas, looking for win number 2 in the ISRA Open Wheel Series.
So Reagan is coming fast because they have a traffic in front. We cannot see how fast it's going in clean air, but nice pass.
Oh, Lionel Callisto, same thing. He gets loose off of 2 and he catches it.
Wow.
So the inside on turn 2 is not the place to be. Say hey, Lewis Hayes on the inside of Mark Amini in the 3.
Now Callisto have the tires burned. We need to coming back and try to maybe cool down. Who knows how, but he has to.
Yeah, cool down your tires while using them all the same.
With the temperature they have at the track, kind of hard.
Rick Rayvon getting around Richie Hearn. Move Rick up in the 9th as he's following through Chris Reagan. Chris Reagan up 12 spots to 8th. And it seems like a lot of cars are very loose off of 2 right now. Meanwhile, up front, Rigney pulling away by 1.7 seconds. And it makes me wonder if Wagner is falling back to kind of hit a fuel number. And maybe Rigney is just full push, full send. I'll pit when I pit.
So Rigney is 1/10 faster. Now Wagner have a clean air. So he can go maybe the same time like Rigney do it. Now it's 2/10 faster, Rigney. But Glendy, same time, but it's close to Wagner. So I know Glendy can do it more fast than that. But maybe like you're right. So maybe they save fuel. Maybe they want to go in a little more on that. But we don't know yet because we did 38 last time. Maybe he can do it 40 over 40.
I think they could have done more. I don't think their tanks were empty at all. I think they could have done more on that first day. Yeah, the tires for sure. But if you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series coming to you from Gateway, where we are currently 63 out of a scheduled 150 laps into this race. If you're enjoying P1's coverage of tonight's race, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for future iRacing content, including tomorrow. The IndyCar Oval Series continues its season with round 9 of the championship at Iowa Speedway. Can Clindy continue his march to that first ever Indy Oval Championship? We will watch him. Coverage starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. Just a few more weeks to go in that championship. Clindy, your points leader there. There he is, 3rd on the racetrack at the moment. And your points leader coming into this race today. But the problem is the guy that he was in a points battle with, only 1 point behind him, is now directly 1 position in front of him. And if we were to finish this way, either Wagner's going to be the points leader or it's going to be a tie. I'm not sure how it's going to shake out, but there's going to be a dead heat coming out of Gateway to our next race, which is Indianapolis for these guys next week.
Indianapolis once again around. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be leader for now. For who knows? We still have 85 to go. We don't talk about nothing about Stoffer. Is now in 5th over there, very solid behind the Collins. But yeah, like we see so far, maybe Wagner is gonna be the leader for now for the championship. Without
caution on the racetrack. Richie Hearn on the inside wall off of 2. And again, are we seeing much to the same thing that we've seen here lately? The trouble spot has been off of 2 all race long. Again, loose, where we've been seeing a lot of cars getting loose. Oh, Jason Collins.
Woo. I think Richard Hearn didn't touch too much. They have a front wing out, so he can use the fast repair or just wait for
5 seconds to get get the wing repaired. Seconds. Yeah, something like that.
Or maybe check because I also a little bit kiss the back wheel. Oh, really? Well.
Let's ride from Jason Collins' point of view. And there might have been a netcode touch there, and that's why we saw the front wing fall off Richie's car. He didn't make contact with that inside wall, which I thought he did. I saw him coming out of the grass there. Watch it again. A car getting loose down on that lower line, and Collins. They don't get much closer than that. On pit road, everybody. Rigney first out, Wags in second, Clindy third, Jacob Collins now fourth, Stouffer fifth, Forsyth sixth, Tyquilla seventh, Chris Reagan eighth. And again, I talked about this early in the race, specifically with Chris Reagan. Don't give this guy an opportunity. He seems to be a man on the move right now, and you're just shrinking this field up, making cars closer, making things easier for Chris Reagan.
Yeah, look like fast. They have a 12 spot, but now it's easy for him because I have a new tire. Thinking about it with the old tire is fast, so maybe it's gonna be a frenetic for him. Try to go and push on the front. It's gonna be really interesting to see him. How's gonna be over there because they have Aquila, Forsyth, Stoffer, Collins, Clendy, and then Wagner on front.
And we see Herrick getting the wave around. He's still 2 laps down. But he'll rejoin at the tail end of the field with the wave around. That will turn the field over to the pace car driver and Rigney, who will get the field when the pace car driver leaves next time by. It is Rigney, Wagner, Clindy, Collins, and Stouffer, your top 5 for this restart. Then not too far behind, a lot more 4D cars with the Forsyth and Reagan, but also in the battle is Quilla, Rick Ravon, and Lionel Callisto. We should not forget him. He started shotgun on the field. Lionel did, and he is up to 10th. He is actually, he might actually be working with Wags. Yes, they are in the same channel, voice channel together, so they are working together. Pace car makes that really awkward move on the pit road here at Gateway. Field is in the command of Mike Rigney, the host with the most. Green flag at lap 70. We're about at the halfway point. Everybody still in order coming off the corners. Reagan getting a big run on the inside of Tyquilla. Had to check it up.
We know you're fast, but don't do that. It's no time yet. Now they have the chance because Quilla make a mistake. He's going for inside.
Well, we got Jacob Collins taking a stab at his teammate into 3 and 4. And they need to get this settled very quickly because their team rivals this season is 4D Racewear, and they got 2 cars behind, and Stouffer thought about setting it up the middle, and I think the guy, as Reagan into the wall off of 2, I think the 2 Rogue Racing teammates of Clindy and Collins are on comms, and they're like, here comes in the middle, shut the door. So they shut the door on him.
Oh no, Raybon! He have a contact with Reagan. Now 3 wide on the back. Oh, Raybon want to go in for in turn 3.
Oh, yeah, I think we got a car sideways. I was getting ready to leave.
Oh.
Chris Reagan. As we got a whole bunch of cars, as I went away, and we're going to go back and we're going to watch that in actual real time. I went away to look at the incident, and I just started to see the cars break loose. Here's what happened. Wow. Now, that's net code. Oh, my gosh.
Nope. It wasn't net code.
Or just break loose. Or just some sort of break loose. But I was awful net code or loose on turning in. Maybe he was damaged from Rick earlier in the lap. We're going to go back a little bit further. Let's go back a little bit further. And maybe, did we have damage on his car?
Like
we see him going to 3. We have it going to 3. There is legit contact right there, I think. Go back a little bit more. There we go. From the P1 airship piloted by TC. Watch this again as they go into the corner. Hard to see from this angle. We're just going to have to ride with, and I want to pause it here, and I want to go back another little bit. I want to ride with Rick Ravon. And this is going to tell us if there was contact for sure. Yeah, light. If not, it was very, very close net code. So let's get back to watching him come down the straightaway here. And watch Reagan on the outside here of all this going into one. It's Reagan, then Callisto, then Kirby. And Reagan turns in, and it just goes loose instantly. And Callisto's in it, and Kirby barrel rolls like a Joey Chitwood stunt spectacular as Rick tries to get it under control as they're trying to slow down. Tristan Fortson almost gets into somebody. I see Tristan Fortson out for some reason. I don't know if he had an issue.
Oh, yeah, I have a DC.
Oh, a DC. Okay, that's unfortunate. All right, so we are back to live TV here, and unfortunately, Tristan Fortson is out. Chris Reagan, Toad, got the fast repair, and he is, or not Toad, he made it around, got the fast repair, he's good to go. Kirby had to tow. He's on pit road, and he still has a meatball. He has not executed the fast repair. He is probably done. Callisto, I think, was able to go to pit road and get the fast repair. So he is good to go now. There is one fast repair in the rule set for tonight. In fact, just to remind everybody, for the rule set, this is a fixed setup race supplied by the league, a 1.25-mile egg-shaped oval here at Gateway. 150 laps, 187.5 race miles, unlimited tires, 100% fuel, one fast repair, 45-mile-per-hour pit road speed limit. We have not had a green flag pit stop. In fact, we still need to do one more stop, I think, and it might be a close splash at the end. We shall see. It is Riggs, Wags, Clindy. 1, 2, 3. Jacob Collins fourth. Chris Stouffer in fifth. Coming to the restart. Very slow this time for Rigney, but he brings him up to speed. Here we go. Green flag lap 78.
To be honest, I thought Reagan had a really good chance to go on the front. Now he have to back again to try to go into the front. But definitely have a damage. That goes damage with the contact with Richard. With Raven. Sorry, in turn 3. And make the problem. So also Reagan in the incident said, "Oh, I think we have a damage." So really call it by himself about that because it was instant.
Yeah, that was an instant loose as he turned into the corner. The car just came around, and it looked. If it wasn't damage, it was very bad net code. But it would tell me that he probably had damage. The fact that it went instantly loose. Rigney, purple lap as your leader with the clean air, a 174.9 up front as he's starting to pull away now by 0.5 of a second. A little bit further back, Richie Hearn. New front wing, new attitude up at the front, or at the back end of the tail end of the top 10, trying to go to the front. He's now in 11th, setting sail to Lewis Hayes. Lewis Hayes have entered the top 10 now. Rick Ravon says, you know, I will take your purple lap and see it. 174.9 for Rick Ravon. Rick Ravon there in P8.
To be honest, with all that about incident with Kirby, with Reagan, battle with this, what about that, the car loose, he hit the wall in turn 3. He almost hit the wall now in turn 2, but still in top 10 and maybe contended to at least finish in top 5. Oh, it's Aquila.
Oh, Quilla up right next to Craig Forsyth. Caution on the racetrack coming off of 2. Mark Amini, Richie Hearn spinning to the inside.
Oh, Richie Hearn spin again.
Oh, Fortson's back.
And what hit Marco Mini?
Now we'll see what happens.
Christopher Reagan. Oh, Reagan. But netcode. Actually, no, it wasn't netcode.
Well, I think in that case we had 2 separate incidents because Richie Hearn's quite a ways down the road, unless Mark Amini was reaction to Richie Hearn. Richie again behind Lewis Hayes, and he turns in, and again it gets loose again on that bottom line. And Mark Amini checks up, and he does kind of get netcode run into by Reagan. That just shows you the and Mark Amini, his right rear is busted. Let's run this through from Reagan's point of view. Watch this as it happens, and this is the closing rate. He's coming off the corner. He's doing his normal exit, but everything's happening, and boom. A lot of people coming to pit road. And are we going to be able to make it here on one more stop? Oh, it's going to be close. So I think we have some people making final stops here.
I think if I am the race, I just coming in for fuel and tires because my God, the track is really difficult when it's getting close to the 30 laps.
Wow, 120 degrees on that track temperature, by the way.
Yeah. So you see after 25 laps, the track is getting a little difficult. Those make sense. Forsyth, Rayvon, Hayes, Callisto, for sure Hearn are coming to the pit, change the tires and new everything. And also it's unlimited tires, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's unlimited tires. Smoke them if you got them. You know, if you got them, use them. Put 4 or 5 laps on a set. Put on a new set if you want to. Tire bills being paid for by Mike Rigney. So, and speaking of Rigney getting that lap lead money right there, so he can pay that tire bill. He is your lap leader right now at the moment. It's been him and Wagner pretty much all day. Clendy hanging out all day in 3rd. Collins in 4th, Stouffer in 5th, Ty Quilla now 6th. Almost all the Rogue Racing cars are almost all together now. And then we got Jason Collins in 7th, Chris Reagan in 8th, Forsyth in 9th, and Rick Ray Vaughn in 10th. Lights are out on the pace car. We are going green next time by. If you're just joining us again, you're watching P1's coverage of round 5 of 14 of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series, coming to you from Gateway, where Mike Rigney currently leads as we are lap 86 coming to 87. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you'll miss out on the next race. The next race for us here next week, we will be at Indianapolis. 9:35 p.m. Eastern Time is the start right here on P1. You don't want to miss it, as always, at the world's greatest virtual race course. Coming to the green flag this time as the field comes out of turn 4. Field under the command of Rigney, who brought him down slow last time, brings him down slow this time, and we're back underway.
Rayvon, see Forsyth get his lead in the restart, try to go into and make the pass now. Yeah.
Wow, slams the door on Forsyth. Forsyth in a pink throwback to what Teo Fabi drove at Forsyth Racing. It was an orange car, I believe, back in the day. A little pink car, nice. Good car to drive in October.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Lionel Callisto to the inside of Say Hey Lewis Hayes. This is for 11th. Callisto, move him up a spot. He's been to the back, to the front, to the back, to the front. Hayes is not done. He wants that position back to the inside now at the start-finish line. He gets it back. Collins Jason with the purple lap, a 174.99. So we're getting close to the 175 bracket under race conditions. Just in case you're wondering, as Richie Hearn goes to the inside of Gary Lovern, the track record here in real life. They're the two track records. You got, of course, when Kart raced here, Raul Boisel. Rigney goes, there it is, 175-1. Wagner, actually, and Rigney both get into the 175s that time. Track record is a 187.9. When IndyCar came here, that would be Will Power in 2020 with the speed of 192. The career wins leaders here, by the way, Joseph Newgarden has 4 wins, including 3 in a row from 2020 to 2022, and he's also your defending Gateway winner coming into the 2025 season. There's Rick, 175.3 purple lap. I knew it was just a matter of time. The only other driver with more than 1 win behind Joseph Newgarden is Scott Dixon. He has 2. And then here's your list of winners with 1. It is Paul Tracy, Alex Zanardi, Michael Andretti, Juan Montoya, Al Unser Jr., Gil DeFerrin, Elio Castroneves, Will Power, and Takuma Sato. Every single one of them, with the exception of 2, or 3 of them actually, are Indy 500 winners, and 2 of them arguably should be an Indy 500 winner, and one of them never raced in the Indy 500. Zanardi, yeah.
Oh, I have a contact, Quilla and Stoffer. That's the same contact they have Raybon and.
Look at Rigney. Look at Clindy. Clindy to the inside, trying to lend the draft to his teammate to allow him on by. Trying to give him some forward momentum into 3 and 4. Clindy's going to go up high and give dirty air. Now he goes to the inside, tries the pull, tie forward, and he can't quite do it.
He can. Stop it.
And I think he might need to also get Jacob Collins to come down there as well. Now here comes Stouffer to the inside of Clindy.
Clear.
And he is side by side with Clindy, and Stouffer's like, enough of the games, man. I got you one-on-one. Nope, not going to be able to pass. Going to try it again inside, going through 1 and 2 on the narrow end of the racetrack as Quilla gets really close and personal with the turn 2 exit wall. And now we got to cool tires and tempers off as we reset one more time to try to get back in line here and attack once more as we're coming up now to the 100 lap mark. Real quick, here is the schedule. Indy is next, and then we go to Road America for our first road course race. Homestead, Twin Ring, Motegi, Phoenix, Michigan, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Kansas, and then Championship Monday in Pocono.
I said Road America could be Wheeler, could be Forsyth, Richard Hearn also. What else?
I know Quilla's been picking up on the road, his road skills. He is very good. I think Chris Reagan might be someone that we take into account. I think Rick Ray Vaughn's pretty good on the road courses. I think we should take him into account. Forsyth to right. Richie Hearn, I think we should take him into account. But it's going to be interesting to see. And also, don't forget, I think, didn't Justin Kirby win the road course race when we went there in the trucks at Watkins Glen? Didn't he win there?
Yeah. Yeah, over Richard Hearn when he have a lead, and then he have this issue with the one of the turn. I think so. And after the booth, he have this issue on the brake. Yeah. Actually, yes, you're right. So yeah, I have a lot of alternative at least to see good show in Road America. Everybody, sorry. No, Road America every single turn.
Speaking of no Greg Evans this week. Come on, man. Where's Greg? He just warms up for the Indy 500 and then, you know, he ghosts us for the rest of the season? What's up with that? Oh, Clindy loose off a 2. Stouffer and Quilla again. Clindy to the inside, trying a little bit of draft to his teammates.
The moment Stouffer is going on high, kind of 70-30 to make the pass. Got to wait for Stouffer make the mistake or maybe get a little bit loose in the exit on the entry. But it's kind of difficult to make the pass on the highest line, so the low line.
And if there's one oval track out there where these cars, and you work a lot in these cars, this is probably the oval track that you work a lot in these cars. You're always changing the gears at every end of the racetrack. Watch this. He's in gear 5 now. He's going to go to gear 6, and then he's going to get right. It's going to be a high entry. Going to stay on the high side. Goes to 3rd gear on this end of the racetrack. Now launch off of 3, 4th gear at the exit there, or the crossover, goes to 5th gear. He might get to 6th in the corner here. He might go down to 4th to keep the revs up. There he does. Now it's a big run down the front stretch again in the 5th gear, up to 6th gear, and again back into the corner, down 3 gears. Boom, boom, boom.
So we now included the short one.
Yeah.
But this is a big oval. That's the thing. This is a big oval, so that's why the mention of that. But yeah, it's really demanding. It's demanding about the point you have to turn. Sometimes the point you have to brake a little bit. The point where you have to turn, decide when you're going to have to go in. It's really a lot of things you have to think about it in just 25 seconds around the track.
Yeah. Yeah, we're riding with Stouffer right here. His best lap is a 25.7. So you are really, really moving around this place. And all the while, you're changing your weight jacker. You're changing your anti-roll bars if you need to. And changing your engine map if you need to. So there's a lot of going on in these cars.
And then to come into the pits.
Oh, pit road here. Pit road. We have not seen a green flag pit stop here, and pit road here is about as evil as they come. Watching a battle here, Chris Reagan, Rick Ray Vaughn, Craig Forsyth. And a little bit further back, Lionel Callisto. This is 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. 8th, 9th, and 10th in your screen right there.
Interesting, Reagan, how fast it is. He came from 14 or 13 after the incident, from again to Raybon. Same guy he hit, got damaged, and they have this yellow flag with 3 cars out.
And that is the benefit of the fast repair. There's a lot of leagues that don't use a fast repair very wisely. This is one of them. There's a lot of leagues that have drivers that are just wild weapons out there. Oh. And they get that fast repair, and then they return to the racetrack, and they become wild weapons again. Here, these guys, all these guys are good. Oh, as Reagan goes way high with the dirty air, opens the bottom up to Forsyth, and Forsyth, Craig, with the position over his teammate as Rick Ray Vaughn pulls away. There's very few leagues that use that I think use the fast repair very properly. This is one of them, and I believe the Dark Horse Racing Series that uses the DW12 that we cover here on the channel on Sundays. I think they use it very responsibly as well. Most of the leagues, though, it just kind of allows the same weapons to return and do the same things they did to get wrecked in the first place all over again. Here, it's used very responsibly.
Yeah, it's depends the leagues. I think so. The leagues when they have almost an 100% distance, they don't use it. And also, when it's when you have to pay a lot to come in for that league and then have a good races like we see in ERN or Lionheart before. They don't need to, because they know when you're coming in, you have to be good, and also the people around is not whatever. It's really a nice one. As a top one, actually, the same guy we see, the same people we see in the community is in that league. So here, like I just said, this exception is at least they use the fast repair, and the people is have a good composure in the track. So some of them, the other ones I seen before, my God, it's like okay, I go out again, and then the same guy, they have an incident, they touch me and gone the race. So at least we have a good here, like for example, Reagan and Raven. Could be Reagan in said, oh, you hit me, I wanna hit you back. So and then game over. But nope, they don't want it. They don't do that. So that's why it's a good league and good competition around.
It is 11 o'clock. Do you know where your lap traffic is? Well, it's right behind Rigney. He's starting to get into the lap traffic a little bit further in the pack. Getting around Shane Coker, not having as much success as he did at Indianapolis during his split victory on Friday evening. But he is still making laps here as Wags gets around him, now in front of Rigney. The next car for him to get around is Tristan Fortson and then Mark Amini. They're both about combined about 2 seconds ahead of him down the racetrack.
This is interesting to thinking about it. So we have from first to 47 laps in the same stint, and
yes,
then came the group of Raven to Walker. So
there's also Chris Reagan. That's kind of an oddball in there because he pitted at 76, but he still needs to stop again. Now the guys that stopped at 85, we're getting kind of in that close territory of maybe they don't have to.
But the problem is, what if you have to coming in and then the yellow is coming out? Like
Ty Quilla on pit road. So this is Ty at lap 48. And this should be a final stop for him.
I don't want to be Reagan in this moment because it's like a decide. Okay, if I come into the pit, somebody, like we see in the few laps ago, could be messed in the turn 2 and lose all of this lead I have now.
Did he miss his marks or hit his marks? I thought I saw him back up a little bit. Watch him anyways as he comes down to his stall. Again, this guy put a lot of laps in this weekend. No, he hits the marks.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. So now he's going to try to put down big laps by himself and hope that the tire deg on these leaders continues to slow them down. And also the leaders are in lap traffic, so that's going to cause Rigney, who hasn't had a lot of dirty air on his car all day today. He's going to be in dirty air for kind of the first time all day today, other than being behind Wagner.
And he's still doing good laps. 25-0, Forsyth on pit now. Oh no. Wow. He almost went to the grass. A little bit loose on the entry. Wow, but good recovery on Forsyth.
So scheduled stop. This is lap 35 for the stint for Forsyth.
More faster you enter to the pit, Raven and pit now, more time you gain on your exit. That's the main thing.
Hey, Lewis Hayes and Ray Vaughn on pit road. We'll watch Rick. So the getting on the pit road is a battle by itself. And then there's a whole separate battle of getting off of pit road without killing yourself as well.
The problem is when you're press the pit limit off, that's the other problem. If you're gonna spin the car on the exit.
I see Rick hugging that inside line, trying to bring himself up to speed. Car looks a little loose, but he's going to enter a track that has no one around him. And that's going to give him an opportunity to have clean air and to turn some fast times and see maybe if he can undercut some people too. Wagner coming to pit road.
He lose time on the entry. He too loose on the brakes, went to the grass, and then he came back to the track again. That's a lot of time he lose on the pit.
Wagner in the STP, Granatelli, 1987 livery of Roberto Guerrero. That was a March chassis back in the day. Down and away, final stop complete. Wags back on the racetrack. That gives the lead, or still has the lead in Rigney's hands. He's still turning laps. We expect him to come to pit road anytime now. He's at 57 laps on this stint. Jacob Collins, he is in second. He is going long, and right now, right with him is Clindy, who is getting the benefit of Collins' draft. So he might go a little bit longer than his teammate, or he might come to pit road with his teammate. We'll see. Collins coming to pit road. Here's where we got to enter off the back road, off the backstretch. Here's the entry road. Again, very narrow, very slippery. Easy to lose the car here. Trust me, I've done it. Coming around, not a great and fast stop, but a very conservative and sure-footed trip around the access road. Now it's a long, long run down to his starting, where his stall is, since he started fourth. He's going to be up near the front of the grid here. There is Rigney on pit road, the leader. Rigney down and away.
Collins. Oh, that's close on Callisto. Jason Collins, sorry.
Clindy, now you're coming to pit road. Stouffer, your leader. This is only your third different leader today. Stouffer coming to pit road.
Coming now.
He comes in very quickly, kind of gets that angle on the pit road. That's going to turn it over to Callisto. Now, Callisto pitted on lap 85. So he's only 43 laps in. He could probably get another 10 laps or so. So there's going to be no cutting it close for those that pitted at 85. They needed a little bit more caution.
Can. Yeah. Callisto, they have to wait for the caution, maybe, to come into the pit and stay on the lead. But if it's yellow, it's in green, nope, not a chance. They have a bit short for 10 laps, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's going to be about 10 laps. So right now, Callisto and Hearn are going to come to the pit road. Stouffer on pit road now as he's coming off of pit road. So his final stop is done. And he's going to fall down a couple of spots, actually, as Aquila and Clindy. And here comes Wags. Wags had a big run, just a momentum. He gets his spot on him as well. So Stouffer down to 8th. We still expect Hearn to come to pit road, and we still expect Callisto to come to pit road. Callisto on pit road now.
Yeah.
And so we still expect Hearn to come to pit road.
You see the Matt, he loses a lot of time. Now he's basically in 5th, behind our Raven. So
Jacob Collins, the same thing. Jacob Collins down to 8th, 9th, and 10th right now. Rigney, purple lap, 175.9. So we're just about ready to crack the 176s here. Can we do that? Callisto off of pit road now. Hearn still needs to stop. Hearn pitted last on lap 85. He's 47 laps into his stint. Had a bit of an adventuresome day off of turn 2. But as soon as he pits, Rigney will be your leader, and Rigney's going to have a pretty decent lead over Ty and Clindy, who will be in 2nd and 3rd when Richie comes to pit road, as they are scrambling toward the back of the field with lap traffic. That is a Wag sitting inside of Gary Lovern.
Interesting, because if the yellow comments, the caution is coming out, everyone have a 1 lap down. The only one is in the lap is Rigney.
Yep, he's on the lead lap, the tail end of it. Because Richie Hearn, who's right behind him, that is your leader.
I don't know if Quilla and Clendy battled together or what is close.
They're trying. I think they're trying to work together here. It's not. It's looking a little awkward, and it's going to open the door for Rick Ravon, who's going to try to run him down, but also running down Rick is Wags, and also running Rick down and Wags down is Stouffer. And there's also Jacob Collins to the inside of Gary Lover, and this is just for track position.
And it helped a lot because Rigney is now 4.3 seconds over Clendy.
Well, it must be when Rigney had to rebuild the session. He must have forgot to load in his cheatcode.exe.
Yeah. Oops! I forgot something. Let's rebuild again the station.
Rigney loading in turboboost.exe.
Do you know, long time ago, I heard that somebody long time ago have that issue. You have a grip in your first lap when iRacing start to add stuff in the tires. So people start to complain about people do that stuff.
The grip hack.
And,
the grip hack, yeah.
Yeah, and I know some of them got banned forever.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ravon getting loose off of 2, opening the inside, the Stouffer. We're going to have 2 guys with a ton of experience in these cars battling side by side, wheel to wheel off of 3 and 4.
He can close, he don't want it. Pretty nice of Stouffer. They don't want to close. Now he can close it now.
Yes.
He can close the door on Ravon. And it's coming Wagner on Ravon.
Yeah, and actually, Stouffer's trying to break the draft, and as he goes down, he lends the draft to Wagner, and he pulls Wagner on by. Wagner up a position now to 5th, Ravon back to 6th. Oh, yes, the infamous grip hack. I remember the infamous griphack.exe that we've...
That's when it happened in the time with Spa 24 hours, and that time, long time ago. When they start to add stuff with the GT cars, but yeah, pretty secure. Actually, I'm not sure if it's iRacing is 100% secure for that, but you still have
they have an anti-cheat client that is part of the game client itself, and supposedly that is kind of what checks things out, but. As many people as there are that play by the rules, there's other people out there that know how to exploit the rules to their advantage. I don't think there's any. We're just joking with Rigney. I don't think there's any shenanigans going on here, but I do.
I think there's gonna be.
Go ahead.
I think it have to be unofficial this until Stewart says something to Rigney.
9 to go for Rigney, looking for his 2nd career win in the Indy cars here in ISRA to add to his total that he earned over in Lionheart as well. 9 to go, one last season at Texas. But Texas, he kind of, I don't want to really say backed into it. He just kind of became very fortunate to inherit a timely caution as the leader. And then no one could really pass him after that point, and he held on and got the win. Today, Lewis, he has been up front all day today. And I'll show you right here. This is indicative right here. 107 of 143, which would be 142 laps that we've turned so far. 107 of those have been led by Rigney.
Yeah, I have a good pace in the track. He make the pass. He lose the position on Wagner and pit, and then he recovered the position back, and also he's the faster so far with in the track, and nobody did something close.
We got a battle here for the bottom step of the podium. It is Ty Quilla, Chris Stouffer, Matt Wagner, 3 cars, 1 step for 3rd. Here we go, side by side. Quilla and Stouffer. Stouffer with the edge at the line in the 1 side by side. 6 to go.
They can squeeze. Nice.
Great car control for each one of them as Stouffer goes to the inside trying to cut the draft off.
Oh,
and he slid across Wagner there, yes.
We have 5 to go, so I think so. Stouffer have a good chance. Now we'll have to protect over Wagner because Wagner is going fast now.
It's a pretty good start to the season with Stouffer. Wags coming to the outside. 2 wins to start the season. Then 2 DNFs because he's a super dad. And coming back on his return race on the heels of winning in a Indy 500 yesterday morning. He's going to get a bottom step on the podium here in the ISRA. Not a bad start to the season as Wagner goes to the inside. It hits the inside wall.
It's the on green.
And that is day done for Wagner. And that is critical to the points championship because this is going to be your new points leader, Clindy, with 3 to go. Oh, and he got loose off a 2 as well. Meanwhile, up front, Rigney pulling away more. He's reaching some lap traffic at the moment, but he has a 6-second lead over Clindy. Clindy needs to hold on. I think he's worn his tires out trying to run down Stouffer. I think Quilla, in the same way, is making a bit of a wiggle down the front stretch with his teammate Jacob on the bottom side, and he just kind of lets Jacob go.
White flag is out.
White flag in the air. Rigney, 1 more lap to go to secure that second win here in the ISRA. Off a 2, nice and cleanly, where all the problems today have pretty much occurred down the backstretch. 2 more turns to go, and Rigney looking at win number 2 in his ISRA open wheel career. Rick Ravon to the inside. He wrecks. Rigney gets a checkered flag. He's your winner. Clindy, he's going to have Stouffer to his outside. Nice. Stouffer gets him at the line. Clindy third.
Clindy said they have a damage. He have a damage, Clindy said. I don't know where have the damage, but he said he have a damage. And something happened with Raybon. Yeah, Raybon
he got loose off a 2, and his teammate ran him over, and then I think Collins, he might have wrecked after, or no, yes, he does. He goes to the inside wall there on the crossover gate, and he struggles to bring that car home. This all happens on the last lap.
And Regan missing all that stuff. Nice race, actually.
All right, let's get today's final standings in here. Rigney, second career win by 7 seconds over Stouffer. Stouffer edges Clindy at the line. Clindy had some sort of damage. We will talk to him very shortly. He comes home third. Jacob Collins finishes fourth. Ty Quilla. Late run. Looks like his tires were used up late in the race there. He finishes fifth, so the road crew finishes third, fourth, and fifth. Chris Reagan finishes sixth. Lionel Callisto, he has had a bit of an adventuresome day, starting dead shotgun on the field. Comes home seventh. And I believe along with Chris Reagan, both those guys are going to be your Luis Gonzalez Nunez driver of the race. Each one finished with 14 positions gained. Then we got Richie Hearn in 8th, Craig Forsyth 9th, and Lewis Hayes cracking the top 10 once again in 10th. Jason Collins struggles to bring that car home 11th. Rick, he had a late crash off of 2. We saw it all night tonight. He comes home 12th. Jim Herrick 4th. Well, it says Jim Herrick 14th. That's going to be, I believe, 13th. I think with all the chaos on the last lap, too much stuff going on, I think there's just the overlay and timing and scoring weird. So Herrick 14th, or 13th. Give each one of these guys an extra position, I think. Mark and Meany, Wagner, Lovern, Fortune. Wagner was either first or second all day today. And just as the end of the race there, gets loose off of 2, goes to the inside wall. Lovern, Fortune, Coker, Kirby, Ramsey, and Mitchum.
So, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Rickney, pretty good race actually. Really enjoyed the race. And the definition in the Stoffer and Clendy, Reagan survived. I think that Reagan is the driver of the day with all that incident they have around the track. With Raybon, and then the loose at the corner, and then he came back, and then the last lap almost hit Raybon. I think Reagan. I'm gonna give it to Reagan.
All right.
The driver of the day. I'm pretty sure could be a new. I don't know. Maybe a new leader today. No, I'm not sure. I'll let you know what is standing stuff.
All right. All right. And before we do bring in our drivers, we do want to talk about the sponsorship of the ISRA Open Wheel Series, brought to you by the Sim Gaming Expo. Get ready for the ultimate simulation gaming experience. The Sim Gaming Expo is bringing all genres of simulation and gaming technology under one roof. Join us September 5th through 7th in Chicagoland at the Schaumburg Convention Center to try out the latest gear from the biggest brands in the industry. Meet your favorite streamers and celebrate your passion for simulation with our incredible community. Let's not miss out. You don't want to miss out. To learn more, get your tickets now. Go to simgamingexpo.com and be a part of simulation gaming history today. All right, let's get into the interview room. All right. And we will bring up Clendy. Here he is, finishing third today. We'll find where you are in the points here momentarily when those are updated. I think the admin of the league has his hands full at the moment, but quite an exciting finish for you at the end. And we heard, at least it was relayed to me, that you were on the radio that said you might have had damage. What was the story in those final laps there as you were trying to hold on the second?
You know, my family always asked me, whatever happens if you have to sneeze when you're driving? And I tell them, my brain has never let me sneeze when I'm racing before. And for the first time in my entire life, I've become so accustomed to driving digital race cars. My body felt it was opportune to sneeze on the exit of turn 2. I misjudged the exit because my eyes were closed and I was sneezing, and I pounded the wall down. So had wheel damage, right side damage, all of it, and I lost like 5 seconds in 5 laps or whatever. So happy to come home third. Really happy to come home third. And happy Stouffer could snipe me. That was exciting, I hope, for everyone watching at home.
Talk about, though, when you were up at the front there, you kind of just rode in third all day today. It seemed like kind of Wags and Rigney kind of had this field covered. Was it just really the conditions that made it tough to close up?
So Rigney always had clean air. Oh, sorry, let me restate. At the beginning of the race, I didn't want Wagner to think I was jumping the start, right? So I made sure that he had control and that he went first, and so that lost me the spot to both Wags and Rigney. And I'm like, oh, it's no big deal. Like, it'll take Rigney forever to pass Wags, and if he does, I'll just reel him in and pass them both. And then Rigney glues himself to Wags's rear spoiler for like 15 laps. I'm like, how is he doing this? And then passes him like he's standing still, and I can't break through the air like half a second back. So later in the race, Wagner's running a line that made it really hard for me to even try to pass him. It was really fast, and he did it every time consistently, so it wasn't like to spite me or whatever, but it was really good. And it was through 1 and 2 especially. He would run all the way up by the wall and then bring it all the way down in the middle of the corner, and it was his corner every time, and so I didn't want to throw it in there. So it was just really hard to pass Wags because of his line, and it was really hard to pass Rigney because of his speed.
Well, we'll see momentarily when points are updated. But, hey, look, after the weekend you had, a third place here, just kind of
fitting, Gary.
Yeah,
just finished third 3 times this weekend.
And just throw it onto the fire of podiums, podium finishes on the weekend. We were telling people during the race that you were one of 2 drivers that finished every single 800 laps of all 4 races of the Indy 500 this weekend. And you also, every single one of your finishes was in a top 5. And actually, after one of those single finishes was a podium finish. Just add it back to the fire. Another podium here for Clindy here at Gateway. Congratulations. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who wants to say hi to?
Yeah, first and foremost, thanks to the Votive Racing League. We'll be racing back on Sundays, starting with the Indy Votive Derby on Saturday, June 8th, or Sunday, June 8th. And that's free to join and pays to win. So sign on up, and entries are limited. Thanks to Techtopia Systems, the partner of Rogue Racing, and Tuesday night fixed top split action for the IndyCar Oval Series, where you can see us at Iowa tomorrow night. Thank you to P1 Broadcasting for this broadcast. Thank you to Sagerman Farms in Runk, Illinois, where they grow the best corn in the world. And thanks to all my friends and family all around the world who may be watching, wherever they may be. Thank you very much.
Before you go anywhere, points have been updated. You came in with a 1-point lead. You're going to leave with a 1-point lead. It is you with 230 points over Rigney with 229 now. Wags back to third with 211. Jacob Collins, your teammate, now 4th at 203, and he's 3 points ahead of Craig Forsyth in 5th, who is tied with Richie Hearn at 200 points. That is your technical top 5 at the moment, but it's you leaving here, going to Indianapolis. I think a place that you have just a little bit of experience at here lately next week. So best of luck, and we will see you then. But more importantly, we're going to see you probably tomorrow night on the track at Iowa for the top split for the Indy Oval Series. So we'll see you then.
Yes, sir. See you then.
Anything you see surprisingly in points there, Lewis? Rigney getting the second, not surprising, but I didn't expect to see him in second. He was high in the points anyways, but you put a win on the board and you expect to gain at least a couple spots.
I still surprised with 2 winners and stuff is down, but because family stuff. But with Rigney, with the win is second, is because we have a regular races around, so 3 top 5, 4 top 10 for him, and 1 winner. So no surprise, actually. Was a good race for Rigney, but the next one is Indianapolis. It's going to be a little bit tough for everyone around the track.
Let's bring up Stouffer into the booth. Here he is, the guy that kicked out the season with 2 back-to-back wins and played Super Dad for a couple weeks. And then he comes back and he puts a P2 back on the board after winning his top split, or his third split race for the fixed Indy 500 on Sunday. Still a bit on the roll is Chris Stouffer. Congratulations on the P2 today, edging out Clindy at the line.
Oh, yeah, man. It was that was a long race for Gateway, I'll say, man. The way those cautions fell, and at one point I was just riding around saving fuel, not really trying to pass anybody, just trying to maintain position. And then at the end there, it turned out to be a dogfight, especially between me and Ty. I hope you guys got some of that, because that was tough. He didn't make it easy on me, but I found some settings that I really liked, and I passed more cars there in that last 20 laps than I did the entire race.
Yeah, it looks like you had a pretty decent start of 5th, and you kind of fell back a little bit, got into the mid-pack. Some of those mid-pack battles were very fierce, as just no one was willing to give an inch, knowing the conditions and everything out there. But once you're able to break away with a little bit of clean air, you're able to pull away and go kind of, push yourself to the next battle. I will say, even though the race it seemed long, the cautions were very timely, because it really eliminated the need for green flag pit stops until late in the race, which allowed kind of the field to keep kind of close confines for most of the race. What was it like a little bit further back with that dirty air? It looked pretty rough out there, all things considered. Also, considering on top of that the high track temperature.
Yeah, I ran around like 5th, 6th place from most of the race there, and when you're back there, you've got 4 or 5 cars in front of you. I mean, you're just trying to hit your marks, and it was funny because I went down to like fuel map 3 at one point and was really trying to save so I could go longer before the first caution came out. Try to trap everybody a lap down and everything, and it's like I forgot how to drive the dang car. Once I put it back to fuel map 1 again and had all the power, I was like, what the heck's going on? My car doesn't feel right. But there was one point in that race, around lap 70-ish, or I think we got a caution, I forget exactly when, but right before that lap 70, 75,
Yeah.
around their caution, where me and Craig were talking, and we had the fuel. We were saving enough fuel that we are going to make it to lap 100 before we had to pit again. And we were just hoping that it was going to go green, and that was, it was going to happen that way. But it didn't. It was tough. Passing was certainly tough, but like I said, I found some settings I liked there at the end, and I just let it all hang out at that point and just tried to do everything I could. I was happy to get up to 3rd, and then next thing you know, I'm running down Clindy, so I'm like, all right, let's go get 2nd. Give me another 20 laps, maybe I would have done a little bit better and made a 3-peat in 3 races, but I'll take 2nd, especially this is a tough race. It really was.
3 races, worst finish of 2nd this season. Congratulations. And an Indy 500 over the weekend to boot. So congrats on that. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go?
I appreciate you shouting out the fact I won that 500 over the weekend. I appreciate that. I'll say, of course, hi to my kids. And 4D Racewear for sponsoring me. I appreciate all that. We got the Sim Expo coming up this fall, so hopefully, people make it out to that. That's going to be exciting. It'll be fun. A lot of us are going to be there. But yeah, it was an excellent race. I appreciate you guys broadcasting it and everything. And I believe I will be there next week if there's no games or anything. So hopefully next week we can at least keep this podium run going.
Congrats on the podium run, and hopefully we'll see you in a week. If not, you got a pretty lucky kid there to have such a super dad. So congrats on the and congrats on the P2 here today, and we'll definitely see you again in the future.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, and let's bring up Rigney here. And here he is, our winner today. So, Mike, I guess my question for you is, Clindy completed 800 laps this weekend and 4 Indy 500s, got 1 win and 3 other podium finishes. And Christopher won his split on Sunday. What have you done lately?
Practiced a lot of gateway. That's what I did. I didn't run the 500. I was running the 150 gateway that was going to be tonight.
Well, you showed it. You put a pretty big spanking on the field. Unlike kind of Texas, where you found yourself in the lead after a very fortuitous caution, you were up in the front all day today, really commanding things, and just led a commanding number of laps, and really no one there to challenge you all race long. Wags kind of hung with you, but was really never able to pass you back unless it was on pit road, and then you quickly got him back again.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get in first gear on that pit stop. I actually came off the jack stands in second, so I had to
Oof.
downshift real quick. Yeah, little mistakes like that will cost you a race.
I mean, talk about your race, though, really up front all the time, just kind of hitting your marks. I'm sure these cautions, they're like, oh, another one. It's making this thing longer and longer and longer. But, I mean, at the end of this whole thing, especially that long green flag run, it was never really anything in doubt. Yeah, I think you won by like 6 seconds. It might as well have been 6 laps the way you dominated. It's so easy when you're up front, even with a hot track, when you have clean air. Did you find any time when you were reaching lap traffic? Did you start to feel the effects of the dirty air, and kind of glad you weren't running back in it further on back?
No, I never felt dirty air all night. I found some settings that I liked, that really accentuated my driving style, and I was just really comfortable in the car all night. I mean, just green flag to checkered. I was never loose. I was never tight. All it did was rotate all race long, and I thought, well, I'm not touching the thing, and that's what I raced. I told Kyle, and I just told Rick too. I'll tell everybody. My settings were 3, 2. Front ARB was 3, rear ARB was 2, and I never touched the weight jacker. It was 0 all night long.
Wow. Well, there you go, folks. Write that down. You have 120 degrees track temperature at Gateway during a day race. Punch those in. That might help you.
It worked for me. I liked it. I knew that a lot of guys in 3 and 4 also, they like to be like a lane or a lane and a half up when they go through turns 3 and 4. But with those settings, when I put it on the white line around the corner, it just rotated all the way through the corner. I could have put that car anywhere off of turn 4, anywhere I wanted, inside, out to the wall, down the middle. It just rotated. It was beautiful, and I'm glad. I always want to win one of my own races. I mean, I'm an advocate at uh, the league, quote unquote, admin of a series. I don't think should be out there trying to win his own races. I think it's a little bit unfair because I have the setup a week before they do. I know what the weather settings are. I know what the setup's going to be, and so I don't like to go out there and try to win my own races. But I always want to win one, in my season. So I thought, well, Gateway's a good one. So I was like, "Fine, I'll show them why I was in Lionheart tonight."
Well, big win, and it brings you within 1 point of the points lead. Clindy getting that third there at the end just did enough to keep him P1 in the points. But you're there, and you're headed to Indianapolis, another track that you do pretty decent at. Any shout-outs, any friends, family, sponsors, anybody want to say hi to before we let you go on this big win?
Well, you got to thank George. He came on board. George Enzaldo. He came on board to let me help promote his expo coming up in September. Uh, you go to Sim Game, or what is it? SimGamingExpo.com.
SimGamingExpo.com.
And sorry, George, I won a race, brother. It slipped my mind. Um, yeah, you just head to simgamingexpo.com. You can get your hotel rooms there. You can buy your tickets there. You can go to the site map and see who all's going to be there. And he's got some pretty big names showing up. Uh,
Hey, he hasn't announced
I,
me and Luis Gonzalez Nunez yet, so I'm pretty disappointed in that.
oh, I'm sure it's coming. I mean, we're top bill, man. Top bill. It should be anyway. And the only other people I want to thank are besides you and Luis, big LGN there. You know me. I'm a huge P1 fan. I support you when I can. You know that.
I appreciate
And
it.
you're welcome. And uh, the guys that I've invited into this series, and who have been invited by their friends, and we get pretty decent field sizes sometimes for an IndyCar series, and we have some really good racing out there. So my shout outs are to the guys that show up and race, and uh, I thank them. I mean, I say it all the time that uh, I don't care to put the work in or spend the money to do it as long as people come out and race clean, There's not a jerk in the bunch. They're all good people, and I like racing with them. I look forward to Monday nights not because it's my own series. It's people that I've raced with for the last 5 years in Lionheart and 20 years in stock car, and so thank you to the guys that show up. I appreciate you guys racing. You don't know how much, so thank you. I don't know anybody else that needs thanked. Thank you, Gary.
Well, go celebrate. Congratulations on the win. You got one this season. You're going to make that win streak now 2 seasons in a row. We'll see if we'll get you another win this year or another win possibly next season. But I'm sure we'll see another one for sure. But now second in the points headed to Indianapolis, then the first road course as we get into the second half of the season. So congrats. And thanks for putting on a good product out here for all of us to tune into on Monday nights.
Yep, I'm glad to do it. I just hope everybody else is having fun. Yeah, that's all that matters to me. I get to race with Richie Hearn.
Hey, man, I'm just going to say, I mean, again, you had 2 top split Indy 500 wins in the lineup tonight. You had another, I think you had 4 drivers that won their split in the Indy 500 this weekend. Ty had 2 wins. Clindy had 1. Stouffer had 1. Coker had 1. I can't think of any other. I can't think of any other league out there, IndyCar league, that has 4 winners from the fixed Indy 500 weekend in their lineup, and 1 driver won 2 of the 4 top splits.
Yep, and I'm glad they race with me because they are excellent racers, and I didn't know what the results were going to be tonight. I thought I was going to get fuel mileage, but I didn't care. I told Kyle that once I got out front and put fresh air across the nose, I was like that NASCAR driver. I wasn't going to lift till I saw a checkered flag or God. One of the two was going to happen. So I wasn't fuel saving at all. So I didn't. But I saw, with like 10 or 15 to go, Richie was still out front. I thought, did he do it? I didn't know. So I'm glad he had to pit.
All right, congratulations. We'll catch you at the next one next week at Indianapolis.
See you, fellas. Thank you.
It's kind of just as I thought with him, Lewis. Once we saw him kind of mid-race get out in front, he started pulling away. Made me wonder if it was going to be full send or nothing for Mike at this track. He wasn't really in the business and not too interested in saving fuel. He was really interested in out there and leading laps, and the cautions fell. As the cautions fell, and he was able to hold on to the lead and keep that clean air the whole time and got the win here tonight.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race for him. I didn't expect him to be on the front. It's not, happened to you when you see, oh, it's Clendy maybe, oh, Steinquilla maybe, yeah, maybe Stouffer is gonna be on the front, and then it's coming Rigney on the front. Started from 3rd and finished on the front. Or maybe Wagner because he started for the lead. So this kind of track is like you're started from the lead and you're finished on the lead because it's kind of difficult. But like I said, Rick, like he said, I didn't use the white jacket. I just stay on 0, and that's make me my day in around the track. And we see the other ones lose on turn 2, little bit lose on turn 3 and 4. Sorry, turn 3 actually is the entry and the exit on turn 2. So it was he put the point in the adjustment. So that's the one. Sometimes you figure out, oh, I did plus something or minus something, and then it's coming the other guy and say, no, I just had leaving like that. I didn't move nothing. That's me. That's what I did. And then you figure out, it's like, oh my God, why don't thinking to don't move nothing and just race it like that? So that's something it's happened. So pretty good for Reagan. Rigney, not Reagan. For Reagan, Reagan actually pretty good for him because he recovered from back to the front and actually it was my boy to maybe stay on the top 3, and Topper come back again from back to the front. Actually not back, standing from the back, still on the back. But at least we have a lot of races around, so maybe who knows? Maybe in in some point he can again stay on the front. So was a good race. Pretty excited, actually, really excited race today. We saw today. Indianapolis, kind of really hard. It's not my favorite for race, but maybe for all of these guys around, Stoffer, Clendy, Richie Hearn, Ochosu, Wagner, Forsyth, it's gonna be also Taquila. It's gonna be really interesting for them. So we are 6, 7, 8, 9 to go until August 4th. But we have a lot is a championship around. So see you next week on Indy 125.
So the breakdown of in non-technical terms, when he said his bars were set 3-2 for people, that means his front bar was set at a setting of 3. It goes up to 6. If it's at 6, it's full firm, and that means if you have a full stiff front bar and a soft rear bar, you're setting your car up to really kind of push. That's how it won't rotate as much. A softer front bar but a softer rear bar is still, he's setting his car up to push, but not as much, and actually keeps it a little free in the back. And I think that's how he was able to get through 1 pretty much cleanly all day, or 1 and 2 cleanly all day, without getting that loose off of turn 2. We saw a lot of drivers get, because he kept the bars fairly soft all the way around, and I think you might have saw some people go softer on the front bar, stiffer on the rear bar to kind of loosen the car up so and get it through 1 and 2, and then crank on the weight jacker. And I think that's what we saw ultimately. It kind of led to some of those folks getting loose off of 2. But with a 3-2 combo, he's really set it up, everything to be soft and a little bit free, but ultimately a little bit of push is dialed in there as well, and push is the understeer, and that kind of moves the car out to the wall. So that's it, little technical speak. Hopefully I explained that right for everybody. If you don't understand, just check me out on another one, ask me, and we'll explain what the roll bars and weight jacker does one more time, because not everyone really follows that stuff unless you're a diehard IndyCar fan. That's going to do it here for tonight. Once again, your podium here from Gateway is Rigney with win number 2 of his ISRA career. Chris Stoffer, another race, another podium, and Clendy maintains that points lead, has recovered from a bad start to the campaign, and our defending series champion now is still your points leader by 1 point over today's winner, Mike Rigney. Join P1 again next week for round 6 of season 2 of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series, as the teams and drivers will head back to Indianapolis for one more go at the Indy Oval after fixed setup weekend. Coverage begins around 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's race. If you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing the like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including tomorrow night, the Indy iRacing IndyCar Oval Series. That's at Iowa Speedway. Coverage starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. ISRA is brought to you by the Sim Gaming Expo. Join us September 5th through 7th in Chicagoland at the Schaumburg Convention Center to try out all the latest gear from the biggest brands in the industry. Meet your favorite streamers and celebrate your passion for simulation with our incredible community. Don't miss out. To learn more, to get your tickets today, go to simgamingexpo.com and be a part of simulation gaming history today. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on X and Instagram. The links are in the description. So, for Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at P1, the Sim Gaming Expo folks, and the ISRA, I'm Gary Gatto saying to all good night and thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and its first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week at the Brickyard for the next race of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series. Good night.